you're doing well. So today we're going to talk about visions and goals and wish lists while we're at it. Why not? If you're like me, you may not have started planning until February. I would say January was a slow start for me, and it needed to be, honestly. I thought I was going to start the year strong after the holidays, and I didn't. And I think I just needed a lot of rest, both physically and mentally. January is a tough month. I saw several posts or Instagram memes about how it was January 89th. It was a very, very long month. And so if you didn't feel that energy and you didn't just go full throttle on meeting all of your New Year's resolutions, it's totally okay. It's a safe space here. There's no judgment. I'm in that boat for sure. My belief is it doesn't have to be January. It can be February. It can be any time. Just start whenever you feel ready. And it doesn't have to be that all or nothing mentality either. That's what's gotten me not in trouble, but this all or nothing mentality has actually held me back. And I am now changing my perception. Some people say do 1% better every day. There's Atomic Habits where I think it's James Clear that says 1% every day. Even 0.1% is fine. Just do what you can with what you have and just little by little. For me, it's definitely something that I want to work on this year. It just puts less pressure on yourself, and then you just don't have that much stress in your life. So that's what I'm going for. Last year when I created my vision board, it was before the holidays. A lot of things changed for me, especially with the passing of my father and my grandmother. So I didn't necessarily accomplish all the things I had on my vision boards last year, but I actually did achieve a few things on there, which I'm really glad I did. While it was the most difficult year for me, it was also the most transformative. Okay, we're back. The battery just died. So yes, we're going to go through what 2024 looked like, and then I'm going to share what I've put together for 2025. So I use Canva, and I think Canva has some great templates actually for vision boards. So for 2024, I realized that I sort of lacked that creative element in my life, and I really wanted to bring that back. So that's why I started my YouTube channel, and I decided to pursue the passion of creating a community around fashion and styling. And honestly, I really love the creative process of editing videos. It's actually a lot of fun. I taught myself how to use Premiere Pro, and I just love that you can kind of do it from anywhere. So I definitely dove into it, and just the emotional satisfaction of doing something creative felt so good. If anything, that was the real reason why I dove into it in the first place. I mean, creativity does a lot for me. I've always grown up loving singing, art, things like that, and so I just needed that in my life. So launched my YouTube channel. I got to go to France a couple of times, which was really nice. It was important for me to reconnect with my second culture and also just be with family, and then really just create the life of my dreams. And I feel like I was able to at least set the foundation for what that looks like going into this year. So I'm proud of having overcome quite the challenge, and I'm really looking forward to what 2025 and beyond has to bring. I'm gonna now flip to 2025. That vision board is definitely a little softer. Even with the aesthetics that are here, I'm thinking a softer year, a brighter year, and also one that's focused on well-being. So getting back into a routine, that was one of the things that I completely lost in 2024. I wasn't going to the gym anymore. I just didn't have the motivation, honestly, and I just wanted to do things that made me feel emotionally good, but I wasn't focused on the things that made me physically good. Now that I've gotten myself to a better place emotionally, I want to incorporate the working out and physical well-being as well. I was really good about it in 2023, so I kind of want to go back to that. Maybe not as vigorous. I was definitely very regimented in 2023, but now that I know at least the types of workouts that work well for me, I want to be able to slowly incorporate them back in. So strength training, Pilates, yoga, and there's a cycling class. So yeah, I think that it's just important to balance it all. Also, just being consistent with it is huge. So get into a morning routine, get into a good skincare routine. So that's what the bathroom or like the soaps image is. And just recognizing that being healthy, it's not a goal, it's a lifestyle. It's just something that I want to have ingrained within me so that it doesn't even feel like a habit. It's just natural to me. So slowly working that mentality in. I'm turning 40 this year, which is sort of kind of mind-blowing. Midlife, here we are. And so that's another reason why I'm really glad I got into content creation. You know, some people say, oh, but aren't you too old to be a content creator? And I think to myself, no. I mean, those that are doing content creation even in their 20s and 30s, they're not going to just stop when they're 40. I mean, their followers are all going to be in the same age group anyway. They're going to still want inspiration. They're still going to want advice. And so I am totally glad that I started now, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go for as long as I want. 40 is a big milestone, and so I want to plan a trip to celebrate. I'm not so sure where yet. Greece has been floating through my mind, Croatia, some other places that I just haven't been. So I'm excited to kind of narrow down and start planning for that, but that will be like a big thing that I want to do this year. I want to continue to eat healthy, of course. I want to be better at planning and focusing, especially with content creation, because I really want to take it to the next level, but it requires me to be more organized and have a better routine and structure for all of this, and also to take time for myself and take care of myself. I like to use digital planners, if anything, because I can experiment with what works for me without accumulating a bunch of paper and printed books. So if there are any digital planners that you like out there, feel free to share in the comments below. I want to focus on the things that really matter and surround myself with people who really matter. I think I'm coming at that age where it's not really about quantity, it's more about quality. I mean, I shouldn't say age is the factor behind that, but the idea is to stay focused and just be around people that really lift you up and do the same for them. I think having that connection is just so meaningful. Morning routine, definitely want to get back into that. That's why the alarm clock on this vision board is quite large. And then I basically have iced lattes all year long, even in the winter. But I love that it's like in a fancy cup here. So I just kind of want to elevate my life a little bit in that way. Just make everything that I want to do that much more appealing by making it special and fancy and putting it in a nice little champagne cup, right? I think that also gives really good motivation to do things for yourself when you just make it extra special. And then in terms of things, there's a couple of those that are on here. So I've always had my mind on the Cartier Juste Clou bracelet. I don't know yet if I would want the bracelet or the ring. I think the bracelet. When it comes to jewelry, I think that that's a nice milestone. It doesn't have to be brand new. I'm all about pre-loved. I like the one that has the little diamonds. We'll see if that's what I end up getting or if there's something else that I find. And then in terms of handbags, my wish list is sort of like a revolving door. Sometimes things get added, some things get taken off. It's just sort of my way of making sure that when I spend money, especially hard-earned dollars, on a luxury item or an investment piece, that I'm really being mindful on what that is. I definitely don't want to make any impulsive purchases. And so having a wish list there is just always a good reminder of what I'm working towards. With that being said, I have actually only maybe a couple of luxury designer items, and then the rest are in that mid-range luxury tier. There's a lot going on in the luxury world between the labor issues that Dior and others had, the Workin, the Walmart Birkin, the lawsuits that Hermes has been facing. There's just a lot going on. And I think that a lot of people are sort of starting to shift their perception on like what quality luxury really means, and are not wanting to pay the premiums just for a brand name. I totally understand that. I've always admired Chanel, Hermes, and Dior as well, but I definitely say like there is more to the vintage and pre-loved pieces that were made before mass production really came into play. So I'd love to go and find pre-loved pieces first before I even think about purchasing brand new. But there are some really good mid-range brands that aren't that well known. And as a matter of fact, I recently did a video on 6 brands to know about. So I'm going to walk through my wish list, and then I would love to hear what you guys all have on your wish list as well in the comments below. Maybe we have the same bag, maybe we had different ones, so I would love to know. So first off, this is from a brand called Handbags. They are based in Italy. I'm sure this was inspired by Miu Miu's bag, but I really love the shape and also that buckle detail. This bag also has a zipper across the top. I just find that that's really helpful, especially if you're living in a major city, for safety and security. And it's a good, decent size without being too big. Ever since I got my Manu Atelier bag, I've been loving wearing suede. I'm not as afraid of ruining it. On my wish list is another bag in suede, but in a slightly lighter color. I just love the rich, luxurious texture of suede handbags. The second is from Carbotti. I have always loved the Kelly return style, étoupe, togo leather, and with gold hardware. Well, I ended up finding this one on Carbotti, and honestly, it gives that same aesthetic, that same vibe, and of course at a fraction of the price. I like the closure, the hardware, it's different. And I think that's another thing I'm starting to lean towards. Handbags or styles, brands that you don't see that often, but you know that are really, really good quality. I will share as I find them with you all, because I think it's important to know what else is out there, especially with the luxury market the way it's going, but also maybe you're just looking for something that is just as good quality, but at a friendlier price point, and you want something special, something unique that's not as well known. So I'm definitely thinking about this bag for this year, or maybe next year. I don't know yet. We'll see. Let me know what you think about it as well. Now, Demellier London, their styles are just so good. I was really excited when they came out with the Hudson most recently. I think ever since the Row came out with their Margot, a lot of brands have been coming out with similar style bags, and this would be Demellier's version. I love that belt detail. It really elevates it, I think. And if you're into the Birkin, this gives you that same sort of vibe. I think that this is going to be a very, very popular bag this year, and I've got my eye on it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's really beautifully crafted, and I just love how simple it is. It doesn't come in multiple sizes yet. Something tells me they'll come up with a smaller size, but right now it's definitely at a work bag size where you can fit a laptop and things like that. What else is on my wish list? Let's see. East-West styles were popular last year, and that's not going to change. We're going to see more of that this year. When I saw this shoulder bag, I thought that looked really modern, but classic at the same time. It's got that edge to it, which I really like. I particularly like the ivory color. I think that's because I already have black bags, but I don't have a lot of white. This would be a really cool looking bag for like the summertime. And then the next one, I've been really loving Bottega recently, especially with the hop bag and the Jodi. I just love the intrecciato style. I'm thinking like a caramel color or slightly like lighter honey-ish, just a lighter color, not dark brown, that I could wear almost all year long, to be honest. I think that you can wear suede even in the summertime when it's a lighter color. We'll see. If I find one, especially on the pre-loved market, that's where I want to look first, because you can get really good deals on Bottega Veneta bags on the resale market. And then I have two more. This bag is called the Gabrielle Clutch from Moynat, which is a French brand. It's not as well known in the US, but it is a luxury designer brand in Paris. I think it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago when I was at Le Bon Marché. I walked by their little boutique within Le Bon Marché, and I really loved their clutch. It kind of reminds me of an Hermes Kelly, but it has their signature logo as their hardware. It is a beautiful bag. It was very beautiful to the touch. I was looking at the sort of like a burgundy brownish color that they had. And I went back this year. They have a store now on Rue Saint-Honoré. So I checked it out and still really loved it, but I decided to pass on it. So I think this is maybe a longer term wish list item. I don't see it necessarily in my immediate future, but I still have it on my radar. And again, if I find it pre-loved, even better. Not many people know about it yet. Here I am talking about it on YouTube. It's been on my wish list for a while, so it's just a matter of like, when do I actually want to go for it? Last but not least is the Nod bag from Polène. I just love that weave, the way it's made. I just find it very attractive. It's just a very feminine quality about it, and I think it makes for a really good summer bag, like a light beige or light tan cream type of color. They have this like pretty muted yellow. I'm always attracted to yellow, or even just like that sage green. I mean, there's just so many different pretty summer versions for this bag. That could also be a potential for this year. We'll see. Again, none of these are necessarily in like priority. I know the Bottega bag is definitely like one I want to find this year. So yeah, those are the bags that are currently on my wish list. I would love to hear what you have in terms of your visions, your goals, what's on your wish list. Share if you feel comfortable below, and let's encourage each other. Let's help each other reach those goals and make these things happen in 2025. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you get alerts every time I upload new videos. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next one.